Nigeria is a country which is richly blessed not just in human but also natural resources. And in tapping into our human resources, we have men and women who are spread across the length and breadth of this country doing great things. Now, if you're an ardent follower of politics, you will know that there has been this huge clamor for better inclusion of women in the Nigerian political space. Now, to shed light on all of this, look at the lives of people who have made their marks in the area of politics and so much more. I have here with me a guest on Executive Discourse, coming to you on the network service of the NTA. Well, she is a woman who has made so much impact in the Nigerian political space and also on the private space. Well, somehow some people will say she has gone a bit under the radar, but one thing that, my conversations with her off camera has revealed is that once a politician, always a politician, even though she's saying she wants to retire. Well, why don't you find out who my guest is as we welcome you to the home of the very first female speaker of the House of Representatives in Nigeria. She is a politician who has spread her tentacles around. I'm talking about Honorable Mrs. Patrica Olubunmi Etteh. How are you, ma'am?
Thank you very much. I'm good.
It's good to see you.
Thank you.
Yes. The ball rolling on this conversation, because Executive Discourse basically wants to know who you are so that Nigerians can really understand, the person that we're talking about aside, the person we see out there on camera. So why don't you take us through your early years, where you were born, who really Olubunmi Patrica Etteh is?
Oh, well, I was born 68 years ago into the family of late John Oyeyemi and Eunice Badeniwatoke of Ikire in Osun State. They were Christians, and I had my early primary school with my aunt in Ilorin between 1961 to 67 before going into secondary school back home in Ikire. And after that, I then did diploma in beauty therapy in England with a first-class honors. Then came back to Nigeria. Then went to Abuja University, where I did my diploma in law, because I have fled for reading law. And after that, I became an honorable member in the House in 1999, where I became the first female principal officer of the House of Representatives. And That's how I started the journey of being an elective officer. However, before then, I've been in politics, even before the Zero Party. Then, I see it as an area where it's mainly for men. But later when I joined, I discovered that, well, if you are okay, comport yourself, do very well, there's no way they will not bring you close to them and give you the tutorial of how to go into politics. And if you do it well, I believe sky's your limit.
So that was how you got into politics, and you became a major player in the political space. Looking at your journey in politics, I mean, you said initially you felt it was a terrain for men. Getting into it, I'm sure it wouldn't have been easy for you. How, apart from the tutelage you now got when you got into the game, how easy or otherwise for you to even get into it in the very first instance?
To be honest with you, I didn't have any problem going into politics because, like I mentioned, they were really ready, to tutor women into politics, and that was a plus for me because I had some people that, they were really keen in training us. And having come from Oshu, I have a godfather who is really believing me. There were two of them under the late Chibola Ige, and also our current leader in Oshu, Chief Bisi Akande. They believe so much in me, and they were ready to take me to places. So I had no problem, really going into politics and starting very well. I have a very good beginning. And not only that, Chief Saraki of the Holding Days too believe that, oh, this lady is going to places, let's try and assist her. Even those ones that are not politicians too believe that, no, for her to have come out at this period and she's doing very well, I think she must get to the pinnacle of her career. I remember my first day when I met with the former president, Babangida. We met at a function, and when I was being introduced to him, he said, oh, he prayed for me. I said, I can see you getting to the pinnacle of your career. And since then, they've all been monitoring my affairs. So I cannot just say that I'm a low ranger in politics or a novice that is just coming in. Whether under the admin and the political aspects, those are the areas where I believe my competence is. And from there,
yes, you just
blossomed.
blossomed.
I had to hit the ground running.
Now, before we will continue with politics, because yes, it will form, a major fulcrum of this conversation. But you said you studied cosmetology, right? Why cosmetology?
Well, then I was looking for something that I can do. Let me put it right that initially I was a complete housewife. But after some time, I felt, no, being a woman doesn't have something doing, you get bored and you start thinking of, things that shouldn't come into your mind. So I then decided that, okay, what can I do? And as at the time I traveled abroad to go and study beauty therapy in 1975, it was just coming to Nigeria. So I said, okay, for whatever is what, you must be grounded in whatever you are doing. You must know the nitty-gritty of whatever you want to go into. So I traveled abroad and I studied beauty therapy, studied modeling, and I went to the best schools.
Having recorded such huge success in the world of beauty and cosmetology and everything that has to do with beauty, I'm now wondering, what made you go into politics?
Well, to be honest with you, I'm not a person that really love politics. But for some time, those ones that were in politics, they will come to me in my area for finances, sponsoring, and all that. At a point, they now came and said, look, Auntie, Mommy, why don't you come and join politics? That this is the time for you to come into it, because it's getting to a point where whatever they want to do in politics, their hand cannot touch it. And having been well exposed and a little bit okay, why don't you come and do it? I reluctantly joined politics. But let me put it this way. My mother was a politician.
Okay.
The father was a politician. But with their own experience, it didn't encourage me to go into politics. However, when I was asked to come and join politics, I believed that, okay, let me give it a shot, but maybe play it differently. And I joined politics. Then it was a little bit a task for me, because at times I have to go to Lagos, at times I have to be in Ife, at times I have to be in Ikire. But in Ibadan, to the glory of God, I was able to marry all those things together. And when the time was ripe enough, I was called to come and run for an elective office. And that was how I joined an elective politics. So, and my first attempt, I won my election. And I came to the House, like I rightly said. And I thought it's something that I can be given something to do within the state level. But to the glory of God, like I mentioned, that those that really believed in me, like of Papa Bisi Akande, said, no, go to the House. The House is a place that I never studied, that I never thought of coming to. But since I found myself there, I had no choice. And you know that our system of governments is fashioned behind the American system of presidential system of governments. So I had to go to American embassy, find out from them how they can be of help. And they were willing to assist.
Great.
And for the first 6 months, once I finish in the House, I go to the embassy, where they got me a lot of books and, somebody to put me through, most especially the position I was holding as a minority whip of the House. They made me realize the functions, my limitations, and the way I can do it, and all that. And from all indication, after 6 months, I was home and dry.
Good.
In learning the regiment of politicking, plus the position
you were holding.
I was then. You can't just get to the House and believe that you will sit back. You must align yourself with the system. You must know that you are there for a purpose. But if you go to the House and you are just, let me tell you, I don't know whether in some other countries it's the same thing like Nigeria. Nigeria's system is such that if you get to the House and you cannot get your bearings right, you will get lost. Yes. You may go there for 4 years, get out of the place without achieving anything. So therefore, you must be articulate. You must be ready to know what is going on within your vicinity. You must know the needs of your people from your constituency, and you bring it to the front burner where it can be factored into looking into that area and do it for your constituency. As of today, I doubt whether any of my the people that took over from me have done as much as what I have done. So till tomorrow. So if I go back to my federal constituency and I tell them that, please, I want you to follow these people, they are willing to follow that person because they know that I will not lead them astray. And don't forget that every 4 years you have to go back home to go and seek for re-election. So if you don't do well, don't think that they will put you there. No, because they will ask, there will be a reckoning day when they will ask for, what you have done so far, your achievements.
To bring your scorecard.
Exactly. When you don't have something important inside your scorecard, you are wasting your time.
There's been this belief that perform or not. so long as you have the ears of the godfathers, that you will get a re-election. That the votes of the people, the voices of the people do not really count. But here you are telling me that it's actually the people that will determine your success or otherwise. How do we begin to marry these two ideologies?
Don't be deceived. All politics is local. All politics is local. If you are not grounded in your domain, it's going to be very, very difficult for that godfather to come from his own area to come and do imposition in your area. If they do imposition, there are some other areas where you will find it difficult, even if you are being, assuming you are being imposed to run for an elective office. Are they going to come and force the electorate to vote for you? No. To get tickets within the party is one. To win under general election is second. And that is why I said politics all over the world is local. You must be known, you must be effective at your area for whatever elective office you want. So that one, you must be able to win at least 50% for yourself. Party, yes, may have control of maybe another 20%. Then the so-called fatherism, the so-called believe in you, then will carry the other aspect. But for you not to even lift the finger and said one day, one godfather will come to you and just place you there. No, politics is advancing now. Let them bring anybody. For instance, let me talk from my constituency now.
Please
if they bring somebody and it's not doing well, and he believes that one father or one anybody is coming to come and impose it, I will uproot that person. Any day, anytime. Because you cannot just waste the slot of my federal constituency. You must be up and doing. You must be ready to work.
So, in essence, no matter who you are, no matter who you know, you must be seen to have delivered the goods in your constituency.
Perfectly well.
With your your journey in the House of Representatives, having taken on an elective office, and then you became the very first female speaker of the House of Representatives. It was a unanimous decision, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
How did that come about? I mean, that journey, because a lot of people didn't see it coming. In fact, a lot of Nigerians did not see that coming. It was sprung on Nigerians and it was a surprise. How did that happen?
Well, like I mentioned it, at the beginning of this interview, that wherever you find yourself, you must be friendly with people you relate with. You must be ready to develop people within your premises. I expected you to ask about how we are going to start, mentoring women.
We will get there.
So that we can have multiply effect and all that. Exactly. I think that was one of the reasons why it was collectively or unanimously a decision for them to vote for me, unopposed. Even not only at the house level, I got my ticket unopposed.
Okay.
From my constituency. Yes. That was on my third term from my constituency. The first one I did, the second one I did, but the third one was unopposed.
Unopposed.
Yes. That shows that people must believe in you, believe in your strength, believe that you can do it, and believe that you can lead them. If you have that on your side, sky is your limit. And that is why I said it's not a question of whether you are a woman or you're a man. It's about who you are in any situation. So there are so many things that you can do that can pave way for you. So that is the way I look at it. It's not about just being a woman. It's not just about being good, but your relationship with people around you, you know, and most especially when it comes to developing people, you know, you must be ready to get ready to pass the baton to the, you know, oncoming generations and, you know, the people. And people must believe in you. If nothing goes wrong, then you have it.
You have it. That particular day, when you emerged as the Speaker of the House of Representatives, certainly a lot of thoughts would have been going through your head. What was it like? I want to take a peek into your head.
Let me tell you something quickly. It's something that I never imagined that will happen. But I know very well that I have worked for it. Work for it in the sense that I was a very fast learner, very friendly, respects my superior. So when they asked my predecessor, my immediate predecessor, can she do it? Is she capable? I mean, it was very easy for him to say, oh yes, she can do it. Because most of the job that needed to be done as at that time, you know, they believe that I can do it. It's a question of somebody believing in you, not necessarily being politics, you know, wherever you are. It's just about people believing that, oh, Mrs. Adeniji Adele can actually deliver. If they know that you can deliver, they will drop it in your laps, on your laps, be it a man or a woman. And, you know, it depends on the way, it depends on the courage as well. And again, you must be a party person. That I must tell you.
The party plays a huge role in all of this.
Exactly. Party would give you the guideline. These are the rules of the game of where you belong, and these are the things that is expected of you, you know, then you must do it. If you do it, then every other thing is secondary. For instance, at the last NEC meeting of the party, you know, I remember vividly that my chairman, Baba Amadu Ali, you know, when he gave his speech and all that, he now said, well, we've got so-so person for this, we've got so-so person for this, we've got so-so person for that. But we are looking for a speaker. And I remember very well that he now said they look around among the zones, that the laid down rules given to us, that there's one particular person that whatever we ask her to do, she will do it, carry it to the letter. That she's the one relating to the party. She submits all her reports, all the dues and all that. She does everything well, and the person is so and so person. He mentioned my name, and you can see the loud ovation from the people. They said, then why are you looking for a speaker? You got a speaker.
You've gotten one.
You know, and everybody started, you know, clapping. I think that was the genesis of my becoming the speaker. Contrary to whatever view anybody's nursing or have in mind that is in, I remember him very well. And for that particular day, you know, my respect for the man, for saying the truth, was as big as this. Because another person will see it and he will not even raise it. He will not even mention it. He will not even say anything pertaining to that. He may even have somebody that is nursing,
a candidate.
You know, another candidate. Exactly. But for him to be able to say the truth was able to give me a plus mark for whatever that I must have worked for. So I think that was the genesis.
The genesis of you being the speaker.
Like mm-hmm.
Now you've talked so much about having the support of the party, having the support of your colleagues, to take that exalted position of speakership in the House. Yet, being the very first female speaker, your tenure was rather short, and it was bedeviled by, crisis. What exactly was it about?
Well, I expected that to happen because some people believe that my hands can be twisted. Being a woman, being somebody that they know before, somebody that they know, oh, she's quiet, we can quickly, turn her around. No, I can't, I am sitting there as the Speaker of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I'm not sitting there as Patrica Olubunmi Etteh. I'm representing Nigeria. And I believe that my allegiance is towards Nigerians and Nigeria. So for somebody to believe that, oh, because I know her, or because I was close to her, or I know her very well, therefore, whatever I ask her to do, she will do. I won't do that. Till tomorrow, I will not do it.
Those who fought Etteh at that time were fighting her because of custom, because of tradition, and because of religious belief. There were people at that time who believed that a woman cannot lead them. There are people who ignorantly thought bowing to the maize means bowing to Patrica Etteh. And as men, they cannot see themselves bowing, taking a bow before a woman, and a woman presiding over them, because they are so myopic, so porous, so parochial, so intellectually stagnant, that they believe women should always play a second fiddle role. And that informed my support and loyalty to her at that time. And I stood my grounds. At the end of the day, I was the only last man standing, because 174 of us left the PDP secretariat at that house that morning. By the time we got there and they were asking for us to take votes, it was only 1.5. My hand was up, and a colleague of mine, his hand was neither up or down. He was still like this. At the end of the day, I was the only one standing with her till she was removed, and I drove her in my car to her house.
So much went down, and maybe the naysayers had a kind of louder voice, because it kept reverberating that it was as a result of financial impropriety and so much. Now, in all of this, it was observed that you really kept your cool.
They've not been able to prove it.
There has been no proof, and so you kept your cool. You kept your cool for so long. In fact, a lot of times you just kept quiet.
You see, that is one aspect I don't like to listen to, because, like I told you, I was a principal officer from day one at the National Assembly House of Reps. You understand what I'm saying? And even at joint meetings where we take decisions, there was no time, and I still challenge it. I keep records. There was no time that decision we took regarding this allegation, is fall short of the previous decisions. Even when we are at a joint meeting of both the Senate and the House. Maybe we record about 15 at a sitting of probably about 40-something people that are supposed to take decision. But in this particular day, when the decision was reached, out of 30, 28 were in attendance, including the legal advisor of the National Assembly. See, I don't want to go to that, because if I start going into it, it would be generating bad blood, number one. It will affect my women folks. Therefore, I decided to suffer. Take that one, suffer for it alone, so that all other women can have their way. Right. I don't want them to start saying, oh, if you keep something secret with a woman, oh, you know they cannot keep secrets. See what so person did. Don't promote her. So I decided to keep quiet. But that doesn't mean that I have not paid the price. I have paid the price. Whichever way Nigerian women look at it, that is their own headache. I have done my own. Let everybody come on board. Let them do their own. And let us see their scorecard.
Indeed, you're one who has paid the price for other women to rise to the fore. Now, I think at this point, we should take a break to get to meet a few people who have worked with you, one or two persons who know you very well and can tell us one or two things about Patricia Olubunmi. Don't you think so?
Yes, you need that.
Mama is somebody that is thorough when it comes to working, when it comes to doing a particular job. He's thorough and meticulous. Honorable Patrica Etteh is a model to all women in this country.
She's a woman par excellence. She's a force to reckon with. She's a boss woman. She is a woman that knows what she wants and moves towards that direction as to attaining what she wants. She is my mentor. She is a teacher. She is a mother. She is a prayer warrior. She is everything in one. She's a blessing to our country, Nigeria.
A woman of integrity, a woman that is always serious with whatever she is doing, and she's brilliant.
Indeed, a woman of substance who knows what she wants and she goes for it. Talking about my guest on the program today. Now, madam, we've talked so much about politics, but we just can't leave politics out of it because really it's become like a part of you, part and parcel of you. You were in the House for about 12 years, right? Now, after you, stepped down, you resigned from the speakership. What was life like being just a member of the House of Reps?
Honestly, I didn't feel anything. Yes. See, what we are talking about is about conscience. If your conscience is clear, you won't feel anything. I'm quite sure that my colleagues were shocked seeing me at the chambers the following morning. Like I told you, I never believed I will become the speaker. If God says yes, I will. And I became one. So, what does it take from me? Yes, it's hard value, hard name. People call me Madam Sikan and all that. Apart from that, I believe that we are colleagues. So, none of my colleagues can intimidate me and feel that I shouldn't come and do the job. One, that I was elected to come and do, and I'm taking salary about. And don't forget, nobody says one constituency is bigger than the other.
All constituencies are equal.
Exactly. So I believe I was within my colleagues. So seeing them there, I'm not perturbed. When I got there the following morning, they were all looking, oh, look at her and all that. She came again and all that. I sat at the back. Because nothing says that I'm better than those people sitting at the back. Not until they now say, no, come to the front and all that. Then I moved to the front. I started sitting in front. And another thing is knowing your limitations. Knowing that, look, you have to hand yourself respect. And whatever you do not have, you cannot give. And I cannot change myself overnight. Even the so-called ringleader came and shook my hand and said, why do you want to shake a thief?
You said that?
I asked him, yes, because I do not expect him to come and greet me in the first place. Because I expected him to be ashamed associating with a thief.
Quote and unquote.
Quote and unquote.
Yes.
And then I said, no, it is not like that. That was what it takes us at that time. Everything is about politics. Which dirty politics? That's why I said...
Don't say.
That is why I'm telling you that whatever is... Whoever you are is what you will bring into whatever you are doing.
It was all politics.
It was all, what is all politics?
What is all politics in that?
Ruin somebody's name, ruin somebody's image and all that.
Politics?
And it is all about politics. You see, I don't want to go into all that like I mentioned, and I've forgotten about it, because if I don't, by my doctrine, I will be a sinner, and I don't want to sin. I want everybody to be able to carry his own cross. I don't want to carry another person's cross. So I just look at it and I let go.
And that brings me to a question. The belief, don't mind me, even I am one of such people that have that hold that belief that politics is too dirty, and that you need to be able to maybe sometimes soil your hands to play in this murky waters, murky political waters. Taking a look at what happened to you, your own experience, isn't this a confirmation that politics is indeed a dirty game?
My dear, it is dirty and it is not dirty.
How do you mean?
I told you, if you will bring whoever you are into whatever you are doing.
You're doing.
If you are an honest person, you will come with an equity of being an honest person. If you're a fraudulent person, of course, that is what you will portray, at political level. Not only in politics, everywhere, wherever you find yourself. And when you prove otherwise, then you make it dirty. But that doesn't change your person. It doesn't change my person. You understand what I'm saying? All you need to look at is, you look at the two sides of the coin.
And take the one that
best suits you. And take the one best suits you. So that's the way I look at it.
Now, you spent about 12 years in the House of Representatives. When you chronicle your achievements in the House, how would you describe them? Can you tell us some of, your achievements while in the House of Representatives? Apart from, of course, being the very first female speaker of Nigeria.
Thank you. I believe being a female legislator, I believe I should try to increase the women participation in elective office. And I believe that the best thing for me is to start from my own jurisdiction, which is the National Assembly. When we resumed in 1999, we were 12 in number, 4 from each political party. And not only political party, let me say 4 from the north, again, 4 from the west, and 4 from the east. I look at all those dichotomy and I believe that no, if our northern people can allow 4 women to come out, then we can increase our quota. Southwest, yes, I know that is doable. East is doable. So I sat back and I look at everything as a leader of women in parliament, quote and in quotas at that time. So I sat back and I said, okay, how can I do that? I haven't gone through the tutelage and the rudiments of politicking, and again, the training I received, I believe I can use all those things I've garnered, to increase the quota, to know when to slot in one thing or the other. So I discussed with my other female members in the house. Let us go into conferences, inviting women and men that are gender positive, so that they can look into our affairs and help. So yes. And when the time comes, I can jump on the lane and start, meeting with our governors, how we can increase the lot of women in an elective area. And the issue is so simple. Before they start settling down for picking one person or the other from each state or each federal constituency or senatorial district, if I can go into that on time, that will help. And that was what we did under my leadership. We moved around. And to the glory of God, we increased from 12 to 27 in the house, which that's what they have right now. They don't have it. You can only empower a woman and you empower a nation.
Yes.
It is only when you empower women, they can empower others.
Others.
Somebody that doesn't have something to empower another person cannot do it, cannot achieve it. So I believe that the government, if they are not playing lip service and they believe in women, they should come seriously into the veins of women and empower more women. And in return, those women too can
Will
pay back
empower
by
others.
bringing more people into the fold, politically and otherwise.
How has it affected your family?
Not at all.
Not in any way.
Not in any way.
Being a politician.
Except during that period that they were disturbing my husband. They went there to go and be interviewing him, this and that. He said, leave the poor woman. Leave the young girl. She's doing well, and I know that she will deliver. I remember when I wanted to start at the House of Reps, I discussed with my husband. My husband says, what are you doing there? I said, well, they gave me the ticket. He said, they gave you the ticket. I said, okay, oh. I don't know about that, but I am serving God. I don't want to go into politics. I said, now that I want to run, what is going to happen? He said, well, the choice is yours.
Is yours.
If you want to channel it that way, you can go.
Good.
You know, initially, he didn't really like it. Let me put it that way. But when I got there and I was doing well, he was so happy for me and said, madam, you are making waves. Congratulations, you are doing well. And during the second term, he was the first person to ask me, now that this tenure is running to an end, what's your next plan? And I told him that if I'm voted for again to go back to the house, I would love to go back to the house. He gave me his blessings, and the little he can do, he supported me.
Beautiful.
You know.
Honorable Patricia Olubunmi Etteh, yes, you've done so much in politics, and you've brought your imprints into the game. I also know that apart from being a beautician, being into politics, you also studied law. And I'm wondering, are we seeing you in a wig and gown? Do you practice? And why law?
Well, if you say why law, let me start from that point. Law is one particular course I have interest in. Otherwise, I can go and take another degree that will just give me straight number of years without passing through another chartered area and all that. But law as a course is something I love so much. And like I told you that I have done the diploma in law before. And I still registered into one of the universities in England where I was doing an online program. But I wrote to the school to find out whether being an external student can fetch me a chartered certificate. Then the school says, find out from Nigerian law school. So I did.
Accepted.
And they said no.
Wow.
That I will not be chartered. So I had to drop it.
Wow.
But as soon as I finished at
the House of
Representatives, I had to go and pursue my interests.
Fantastic.
Yes.
So are we seeing you in a wig and gown?
Well,
do you practice
I thank
law?
God I finished there, came back and chartered, opened my chambers,
Wow.
have some lawyers there, but the issue is how do you galvanize? It means I have to be running after contracts, That is not in me. I don't believe in running after getting contracts. Then I discovered that if I cannot do that, then it's going to be a little bit difficult for me to make a way. And it's difficult for me to now go into the ministry and go and register and start working in the ministry at my age and my level. They will not even take me in the first place. Yes. You see, the issue is not, it's just about your own interest. If you have interest in anything, pursue it.
Pursue.
If you pursue it and you have it, it gives you
You're
satisfaction
satisfied.
and joy that this is what I feel like doing. Because I look at myself, I said, okay, if I don't go for that course, then it means I have to be roaming across the corridor of power, searching for contract. And don't forget, I am a woman.
Yes.
So I need to respect myself a little bit. So that is my major problem with practicing. The chamber is there. The lawyers are trying their best. That is it. But I'm trying to pursue what I love doing.
And in pursuing your interest, your satisfaction, I also understand that you're working with little minds.
Oh, yeah, sure. I love working with children because they are innocent. If everybody can have the mind of the children, the world will be a beautiful place to live. You see, when you are relating to them, they say it the way
As it is. Yes, and I observed that. I think with your granddaughter, before this interview started, when you were asking about her earrings.
Exactly. You know.
And she just told you she lost both.
She lost both, which I just put on her hair less than a week ago. You know, what can you do to that? But she will tell you, you must train them to say it the way it is. You know, and also, we are talking about education. You know, we need it. We need to go back to the system where not only education is being taught at the school, education, moral, and culture. We left the other two. We are focusing just only education. The moral and the culture is wanting. And I believe, let me go there and go and contribute my quota. So that's why I said, okay, let me go and refreshing myself. Any day that I feel like I go to school, sit with them, chat with them, play ball with them, do gymnastics, play Ludo, play all sorts of
Be
games.
A child again.
A child again.
Well, we're still here on Executive Discourse. I would want to meet one or two family members of Madam Speaker, talking about Honorable Olubunmi Patricia Etteh.
She's a courageous woman who has made us to be courageous. She's not only an inspiration to me, she's an inspiration to all people around her, especially her siblings. Even our younger ones, talk about the grandchildren, they all flock around her, knowing the kind of love she exudes to them and the encouragement she gives to each and every person to achieve and attain our personal goals. So she has been an inspiration to all of us. And achievement also drives me.
My grandma is the best grandma I've ever seen. She cooked the most delicious food I've ever tasted. And if she wants to discipline you, before she'll correct you about 3 or 4 times before she disciplines you. If you did not listen, she's going to spank you very well. And you are not in this house. If you are in this house with me, you are not here to play. There is time to play, time to eat, time to learn, and time to watch cartoon. My grandma tells us, always read your books. If you don't read, you are going to get in big pepper soup.
My grandma is looking very beautiful. And she's always making a food I've never tasted before.
I would describe Honorable Etteh as somebody that is bold, determined, somebody that is consistent, and somebody that has focus. She has done a great job, at least legacy for the ladies, for the female gender, that's whatever they determine that they want to do in life, they can achieve it. She has done very greatly, being the first female speaker in Africa, showing us that what a man can do, a woman can do so much as well. So our driving force, I would say, is being determined and focused.
The program is still Executive Discuss, coming to you on the network service of the NTA, having met some family members of Honorable Olubunmi Patricia Etteh, and also seeing her with the kids. I mean, wonderful, wonderful. Children are just beautiful individuals. Now, let's take this conversation on a home stretch. And In doing that, I want to ask you, yes, you've said so much about what we can do, how we can improve the lot of women. How can Nigerian women actually harness their resources and become major players in their chosen fields?
Well, it's so simple. Like I mentioned, mentoring. You know, if you don't mentor, it's not that we don't have talents. It is not that the women are in different classrooms from men. They go through the same school. They have the same knowledge.
Some even do better in classes.
Precisely. But when they choose their career, the most important thing is to have somebody to put them through.
To mentor
them from day one till the end. You may want to mentor some. Even along the line, they will fail. They may not be interested. They may even believe they know more than you. But forgetting that no matter how rich you are, you can't be rich in rags than elders.
Yes.
Monitor their progress. Don't lock your door against anybody. You know, I've seen it all. Some people will say, why is she flaunting her door open? Most especially in my offices. And I told them, please, don't complain about that. I learned that from being a politician, because you must have an open door policy. But when you close your door for a bad person to go, you will not know when the good one
too will go.
Exactly. So you must make yourself open to everybody, not in the sense that they will trample on your belief, so to say. But you must ask questions. You must find the genuity of that need, and you meet them. In the process of wanting to help, you must be very careful. But that doesn't mean that everybody is dubious. You must have an open mind. You must be ready to help. Regardless of how small you have, try and reach out. Make your impact felt in their lives. And before you know what is happening, you are there. You see, and I believe in something. If you don't give, you don't have. That has always been my principle. And God is really helping me. I don't have much, but I love to bring people close to me. But come to me genuinely.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Olubunmi Patricia
Etteh.
It's been a pleasure speaking with you today.
Thank you very much.
And I'm really honored to have, spoken with the very first female speaker of Nigeria. You have set the trend for other women to follow.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
You're most welcome.
Yes, of course, you can only give what you have. And once you give, you definitely will receive. That's the message I'm taking away from this conversation today with the very first female speaker of Nigeria, Right Honorable Olubunmi Patricia Etteh. She's a woman of many parts, and well, it's just been a fun conversation with her today. Why don't you join us again, same time, same station next week, as this is where we draw the curtain on this week's episode of Executive Discourse. My name remains Ololade Adeniji Adele. Let's meet another trailblazer on this show next week. Bye-bye.